Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
The lore of it has grown over the years to be so
Oh,
much.
like when I fell down the stairs? No, how the hell does that ever happen? I don't even know.
You stumbled all the way down the steps. What are you talking about? Oh, Jesus, God, help me, Lord. That's all I heard.
I'm halfway down the stairs now. I can't believe I got married today to Jen. Oh, my God, help me, Lord.
Missed one step and caught myself.
What the fuck
One
is all
step.
that noise?
I
Lillian,
can't believe
the
my
bitch is
wife
falling
just
down the
said
steps
thank you when she
again.
got communion. Oh, my God, how did I marry this woman? There's still a quarter of the way left to go down the stairs. I can't believe these are going to be my in-laws for the rest of my life.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders, let's talk Penguins and Rangers, but let's not talk about Flyers, because they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny,
Don't try it till you've had it. This is episode 94 of the Friends and Rivals podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are
Stephen what's
Shane Ghosts is the hair. What? Why can't we say names today? What the hell was that?
nobody ever knows how to pronounce my last name.
Yeah, Nick Larita with working Zoom. I don't know. I don't mean good here.
well, look, 50% of the people saying their names right is certainly off to a good start for sure. Certainly. So we're going to start off with Shitty Call of the Week. And this one
We just saw it in the Devils Rangers game.
No, something even worse than that. If I can get back to my Zoom here. Holy crapola.
I feel like if Shitty Call of the Week had a sponsor, it would be like Angel Soft, right?
Yeah, Charmin,
Soft.
something like that, right?
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
boy.
we give a lot of shit to the NHL referees, but it's not just the NHL referees that deserve to be called out. This one is coming to us from Bill's son's first JV game for St. Joe's Falcons, right? They're the Falcons.
Yes.
Against the Westfield, blah, blah, blah.
They're like the
was
Blue Devils or something.
Blue Devils, yeah.
the Blue
Yeah.
Devils, the Westfield Blue Devils. Listen, you're not going to have much. This is not going to play well on the radio. But look, the first one, probably get away with. However, that second one should have at least been called interference for sure.
Oh, yeah. Just to
That-
totally
yeah.
or a cross check.
Yeah. And listen,
Yeah.
kudos to Casey Boy for not retaliating there in his first JV game, because that probably would have been called.
That would have been the
doubt
only
about
thing.
it,
that
right?
would
The
probably been called
retaliation
that day.
always gets called.
Retaliation
Yeah.
always gets called. But
He must have been being a little pest there in order to elicit such a reaction.
Yeah, the people don't tend to like him in front of their goal.
Can't imagine Casey being a pest on the ice. That's mind-boggling to me. Was
he's
that
been
a
on the-
power play? Like, is that his spot on a power play? Is he just
There were no power plays in that game. Absolutely no penalties were called in that game, as you would probably imagine that after having seen what they didn't call there. It was not
They
one
must have been
penalty
behind
called,
schedule.
So, yeah, the referees certainly had something else they would rather do, I guess. But it was a pretty clean game, though. You know, that those couple of hits notwithstanding, but it was like stuff like that they were letting go. Like if there was nothing egregiously like dangerous, like nobody swinging at people's heads or tripping people, or it was a good clean game. So I think that's why they were tending to let things kind of play out.
and they got the 5-2 victory, it looked like.
They did. His first game was a 5-2 win. He was out there. I think he was even. He was out there for a goal against and a goal for.
so where do they have him slotted, Bill?
Left wing, like second line left wing, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
But that was a scrimmage. That wasn't a regulation game, right?
That was a regulation JV.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that was a real JV. Yeah,
Nice.
did a nice job. He had a good game.
Well, this will be we got one more show to do, and then that will be it for the year. That'll be next week, will be our last show of the calendar year 2022.
What?
Yeah, we're not doing on the 26th
So
Why
lazy.
not?
because it's Christmas
What do
break.
you mean?
We
Yeah, we're
didn't
not
do
gonna
one
be
last year.
Oh, Jesus.
That's our vacation week. What are
Sure,
you
the
talking
fucking
about?
Devils are playing good. Let's take a fucking break all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Can we do that? That'd be great.
Bullshit.
Can we just put the whole podcast on hiatus until they're not a playoff team again?
Absolutely not.
Until next season. That'd be perfect. All right, let's go to Friends and Rivals the Cup. Nick, take us home.
Take us
Alrighty.
home.
Where are we?
Let me guess who's ahead.
Well, yeah. Take
Current
us home.
standings.
Here's the ball. Run toward the end zone.
Current
that better?
standings. I am still in the lead. By
No
about
shit.
35 points. 276 points total. Behind me is Steve in second place. Firm
Fuck
grasp,
yeah.
241 points. Tom, third place with 236, and
Wah.
Bill right behind them at 235. So
Yeah, I feel like 7
we had
games in
some-
hand on Steve, though.
Steve has been making some weight,
Fucking fixed.
moving up. I think I was up like 50 points last week or something, or 2 weeks
You
ago.
were,
Me
So,
but you
cutting the
were as
fucking
low
gas.
as 36 though at one point.
yeah, so now it started to
Oh, actually, it's lower
break
now.
a little
isn't it?
bit.
35.
35. Yep.
Closing the gap, baby.
Closing the gap. Yeah. So having Winnipeg Jets, Kyle Connor, Tom's a favorite player in the
That guy's
NHL,
fucking overrated.
pushing Steve into a better spot this week. Dallas Stars also, they're currently 5 and 6 in points right now in the league.
Boo!
As well as Tampa. Tampa is at 9th, so they've all been moving up in the standings, and Steve's got 3 teams in the top 10 right now. And so that's been pretty good. Myself, I have Kraken in the Isles dropping down a bit. Kraken in 10 spot, Isles in the 12 spot, but effectively we're getting a little more,
Starting to even out a little bit,
evening.
right?
So we'll see how this goes for next, couple of weeks, because we'll probably get there where this gets, I think by mid-season, halfway through 3 quarters, it should get to be a tighter race. I don't think it's going to be a runaway, but we'll see.
That's right.
Dems the updates. No trades have been made since November 7th with Bill and Tom switching their
I would be very surprised if we see another trade at all.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Just, I'm starting to think I got fleeced there. I don't know. Maybe
It's looking.
I'm starting to think maybe I wasn't in the best state of mind, maybe to make that deal.
No.
He had long COVID brain. We should let him take it back.
Yeah, so-
No,
absolutely
I-
not.
I should not be
Absolutely
allowed
not.
to take it back. No, I got to
Absolutely
look at my
not.
mistakes.
To remind the listeners here, Bill traded Tom Pittsburgh Penguins for the Ottawa Senators when they were both in the bottom of the league. Now, to let you guys know, the Senators haven't left the bottom of the league. They are currently 27th out of 32 teams. But the Pittsburgh Penguins are number 8 out of 32 teams.
I feel like we should have a running
Okay.
total of what the records were when the trade was made versus what the records are now.
Well, I could. I don't know like exactly what the records were, but I know the Penguins, since I made that trade, have only lost to the Toronto Maple Leafs twice.
Outstanding.
12, 2-1.
Robbie Cano, baby.
Was that the Bill Drunk episode? Maybe we can give him that.
No. It was
Take back.
No. Tom tried to make another trade with me when I was drunk, and I refused. I was.
Damn it, I'm so close.
Was it the Bill Stupid episode?
I mean, which one?
Exactly.
The Penguins are 8-1-1 in their last 10, by the way.
Is that good?
10-1-1 in the last
Good
13.
job,
12 too. 10-1-1. I just said 10-1-1 and 13. Check my math.
Check
10-1-1
his
in the
math,
last
and
12.
it's wrong.
It is wrong.
Outstanding.
Let's
right.
let's shift gears and take a ride on the Metro. Well, look, Nick, you're in uncharted waters for this year. You're leading off.
This is the whole thing is going
this
to be
is
backwards.
this is how it should be. Well, actually, no.
Backwards.
Well,
I
How does
only
that
gave
happen when they beat the Devils?
I only gave Billy the cleanup spot because he was ahead of me the week prior. So,
Oh, okay. Ty goes to the fat guy.
well, Ty
Yeah.
goes to the team who was higher the week before.
Yeah, I was just kidding
Well-
with the fat guy comment. Thanks.
Yeah, well,
Thanks-
he's
thanks for
he's
explaining it,
He's
though.
no Pat Maroon though.
Well, leading off the bat here, are the So here we go. I'm screwing this one up, but
leading off the bat, take it
leading off the
home. I mean,
bat.
there's so many analogies,
off.
so many analogies.
Yeah,
you
so
can
many ways
use.
to go. Yeah. Top of the order. Anywho,
Starting off the Motley Crue challenge.
Isles played St. Louis on the day after my birthday, December 6th. It was a interesting game.
We're still talking about your birthday?
Jesus
Christ. It was last week.
Did we not wish him a happy birthday
Holy
enough? This
crap.
fucking egomaniac needs to
Holy
still talk about his
All right,
birthday.
whatever, man, whatever. All right,
You're that young. Birthdays are a big deal.
Jesus Christ, you guys make it all about you. Whatever.
Right.
All right.
When you are that young, birthdays are a big deal. Good call, Bill.
All right. Anywho, so Isles ended up losing this game 7-4 against the Blues, but that's not the tail of the tape here, man. This game was quite an interesting one. This was a night where Sorokin had a night off. He didn't have a great game and had basically one of those rare just miss the puck with your catching glove from near the blue line. It was not a great goal on the fifth goal. Basically Isles was just getting outworked and in the second period or third period, sorry, it was I think it was the fourth goal. No, it was the fifth goal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, fifth goal. Okay, I can do math. The second and third periods, they just got outworked in the whole second period. Beginning of the third period, the fifth goal happened, and it was 5-1, and I almost turned the game off. I was like, "This is crazy." Mostly because Sorokin could miss on a easy one. He already gave up some shots that I thought were his. He could have made, and then the game kind of turned on its head. Isles ended up getting a power play right after the fifth goal. Zach Parise knocks one in, and then it was 5-2, and it was like, all right, we got a chance. But then, almost about 6 minutes left in the game, Isles scored 2 goals back to back in a span of about 30 seconds, and now it's a 5-4 game. All the momentum. Isles are a third period team. All this things comes right back, and they just put it on the Blues to try and fix this game, I guess, and just forget about it. But they couldn't make it happen. And the Blues put in 2 more goals, and that was the end of the game. But it was a interesting game. Thomas Greiss almost gave it away, in my opinion, for the former Islander goalie playing for St. Louis now. He had a couple, I felt, kind of weaker goals. I think the fourth and fifth goal were pretty weak, or third and fourth goals. So anyway, that was the start of the week for us. They almost came back, and they probably should have. They outshot the Blues by 40-28. They just dominated on face-offs, but you can't let those weak goals happen and really take all the momentum out of you and get down that far, get down that behind. And so then we have the part of the season where we have 3 straight games against really good opponents, starting with the Devils. And, Devils, Isles, I was expecting this game to be really interesting because the last time we played the Devils, we got blown out. I'm not going to talk too much about this because I bet Steve probably can talk more about it with the Devils.
I got some things to say, yes.
Some things to say. But in the end, Isles got off to a pretty good start in the first period outside of a Nico Hischier goal in the power play. Got up to a 4-1 and then eventually 5-2 lead in the second. And off some pretty nice opportunistic goals, I felt like. Brock Nelson's been when he's on, he's a sniper, man. They had a bunch of opportunities, look like from in terms of like a couple breakaways, some really good just in close shots. It wasn't until the goalie change by the Devils that I felt Schmidt really seemed to bring it on and had some really good saves to really keep it from getting too far out of control. It was 6-2, and then Devils ended up putting on a couple goals. The fourth goal kind of kicked off that 8-minute stretch of just empty net for the Devils.
Yeah.
Where Isles couldn't score on empty netter and basically sat on it. Got squeaked away with the win. And Jack Hughes had some insane shift, which I'm sure Steve would love to talk about. So I won't steal his
I mean,
thunder.
you're saying you're going to leave it up to me, but you're touching on every single topic I'm going to talk
Just
about.
touch
This
it.
is
Touch it.
phenomenal.
Just touch it.
Yes,
Just
thank
giving
you.
you, giving the reminders, pointers. So we win that game and then move over to the next night where we had the fish sticks jerseys come back, fishermen, and it was nice finally see them come out. They look pretty nice, I think, on the ice. It reminds me a lot of they look almost identical to the other jerseys, just without the bright fuchsia.
Without the teal, yeah.
The teal. Oh, what's this? Anyway, the teal color and kind of like that, toothpastey look. But otherwise, they look okay. I mean, I just wish they had been a little more inventive with either just leaving it in there or just making a little sprucing it up instead of just going straight dark navy blue. But that's what they do. So whatever. Game was not in the that was not in the cards. Carolina outworked them all game. We ended up getting shut out 3-0. Sorokin was the only guy really making things work, and the couple of those goals. The first goal was the second goal was a deflection. The first goal was in close. He had no chance on, and the third goal was similar. Like basically just Isles not making plays in front of the net to clear guys out. And realistically, that's all three goals because the deflection was even a play where defenseman was not Salo was not able to control a guy's stick. He basically went to push him off and allowing I think it was Kokanemi to make the deflection and second goal. So basically, all three goals were Isles defense not really playing clearing that out, getting the puck away from the front of the net, not doing well in scrambles, and then effectively didn't get a lot of shots on goal. Only had 16 shots on net. Thanks, Hopi. I appreciate it. And then that's pretty much it. They close up the week with that loss at home. In fairness, it wasn't back to back with the Devils. They did look a little flat, but they gotta make those games happen against a team like the Hurricanes. They're a playoff team. You gotta beat those type of teams. So next week we got basically the start of the road trip, 5-game road trip at Boston on Tuesday. So they have a couple nights off for that happens, and then it's tomorrow. I'm like, oh yeah, a couple nights between the game on Saturday and Tuesday. So Boston tomorrow night, then at Arizona Friday, back to back with the next day on Saturday against Vegas, and then Colorado on the 19th, and then the last game is against the Rangers on the 22nd. But the point I'm making here is that we have Boston, Arizona, then Vegas, Colorado, and the Rangers, and then after that Ranger game is a back-to-back with Florida at home. So a whole bunch of games, and then after that it's Pittsburgh comes up after that. A lot of good quality teams at the end of the month. So this is going to be a really pivotal time for them to really enforce their game, because if they don't, they're going to fall pretty hard in the standings in a very competitive Metro division.
Much like Nick, and I'll kind of do it in reverse here. The Devils' upcoming schedule is a lot of very tough teams. This week alone, we got the Rangers tonight. It's 3-3 going in overtime. We got Dallas tomorrow, Philly on Thursdays, your only little break, and then Florida on Saturday. And then the rest of the month is a lot of Carolina, Florida, Boston, and Pittsburgh.
Fuck
So
the Flyers, by the way.
Huh?
Fuck the Flyers, by the way.
Fuck those Flyers. So very tough stretch for the Devils. I could definitely see them coming back to the pack a little bit. So now I'll go back to last week. We started the week off with a win against the Blackhawks, 3-0. Nice shutout for Vanacek, who said after the game he was much more happy with the win than the shutout. Teams you got to beat. If you're going to be a contending team, you've got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and they did that. Hughes was all over the ice, had a phenomenal game. I think a little bit was trying to show off in front of Patrick Kane. Hamilton also had a great game with a goal and 2 assists. And that leads us to the Islanders game. A mere 195 days from my birthday, the Islanders just trounced the Devils, in my opinion. Like Nick said, Devils scored first, but then gave up 4 unanswered goals. Vanacek gave up 4 goals on 17 shots before they pulled him. They just got bullied all over the ice. It was just the big guys on the Islanders, Zizekas, Lee, and that other
Nelson.
Brock Nelson, just having their way with the Devils. Like Nick said, they pulled the goalie with about 8 minutes left to go in the game. Hughes gets one, sits on the bench for about 10 seconds, and then at 6:02 he comes out onto the ice and he played the rest of the game. It was the longest recorded shift in NHL history, but they've only been keeping that stat since like the 90s. But still, 6-minute shift is ridiculous.
They're keeping it because of Alex Kovalev. Now it's
You should
because
also,
of Jack Hughes.
but you should mention that too, that, Kovalev, they did that because he was being, tortured effectively. Because
He
punishment.
left him out there as
They
a
pushed him out.
as
They're like-
punishment.
Right. But this is the opposite.
I mean, he had the goal. He
out
wound
there.
up actually making 2 saves while the net was empty. I don't know if he gets credit. He should get credit with them for them, but he doesn't. And then that, like I said, that brings us to tonight versus the Rangers. It's been a very back and forth game. I actually think the penalty shot that was awarded to Hughes was a turning point in the Rangers' favor.
Yep.
They came out and got 2 goals 7 seconds apart. And, outside of a couple of moments, I feel like they've been controlling the ice. So now we're in 3-on-3 overtime. We'll see how that shakes out. And who are we going to next?
It is moi. and look, yeah, and I'm going to start. We'll start with the game that's currently in overtime right now. And you're 100% right. That momentum that a penalty shot save can made, and I didn't think Hughes made the greatest of moves. I think he's a lot more shiftier than
No,
that.
it rolled off his stick. He would have
Yeah.
had him if he controlled it. It rolled off his stick.
And Jacob Trouba, I mean, he's good for it seems like a giveaway a game the past 2 months. And he not only did it once, but twice in this game that directly or indirectly led to the Devils' first 2 goals. And it's challenging, and they move him down to Libor Hayek, so they don't give him as much ice time, and they move Braden Schneider up with Miller, and you get a bit more you get a bit better on defense by doing that. And they started off with that Zibanejad with Lafreniere and Kako line, and they had to find something. They had to find some energy. And they found a little bit of energy at the end of the first period when Kreider scored off of the 2-1 rush. But I couldn't agree with you more that save by Shesterkin, or the lack of oh baby, young Filip Chytil, baby, in overtime.
How are you that far ahead of me?
How are you that far behind me? Are you on Billy's internet? My goodness.
Oh, damn it.
Why are you picking on me? I'm not in this fight.
But hey, look,
I've
the
said-
Rangers
on my TV, it's 3-3 with 6 minutes to go in the third period.
the Rangers win a game tonight that, the start of the game, you think it's going to be a blowout. And it seems like
It's the reciprocal of the last game.
I don't want to say it's a carbon copy of the last one, because the Devils really took control of that last game, even though it was really 4-3, but a 5-3 final with an empty netter. This one was much more in doubt, and the Rangers never took control of the game
I think
away from the Devils. The Devils outshot the Rangers in the third period and controlled the majority of that third period. The Rangers were kind of hanging on. It's very interesting to get both perspectives of your team from the outside looking in. But credit the Rangers for coming back and fighting when it was 3-1 down. You scored 2 big goals 7 seconds apart. That energy you got from that Kako goal, it's something you haven't seen all year. We haven't seen that all year. That emotion, that raw emotion from the kids that popped out of that goal was man, I really, really hope they build off of this game. But going back, earlier in the week, last Monday, you come back, you're down going into the third period against St. Louis, and you score 3 goals in the third period, and you get a little life in your team going on a really tough road trip out to Las Vegas and Colorado. And I've said this in text to you guys a lot, but sometimes it's not about who you play; it is certainly when you play them. And the Rangers went out and played a Las Vegas team and a Colorado Avalanche team who were completely decimated with injuries up and down the lineup. And they put on a really good showing in Las Vegas, winning that 5-1 and getting a 2-1 shootout win in Colorado. It's the game in Colorado that I want to focus on a little bit more. And I just briefly talk about the Kyle McCarr thing, because I don't know. I had a lot more respect for Kyle McCarr, and I still do. He's a sensational hockey player. Norris Trophy, Conn Smythe winner. He's just, a fantastic hockey player. But what I saw in that game was a lot of petty shit from him. Things that things that you shouldn't see from a superstar, going into the corner and faking getting hit. And then, calling the other team's goalie a showboat when he made a glove save on you. I don't know. It's all about the show, maybe. But when McCarr goes into the corner and kind of fakes being hit, I don't know. I have a hard time with somebody calling the other team's goalie out for showboating when you're going into the corner doing shit like that. I don't know. For me,
why didn't he become a soccer player?
I don't know.
Such a bitch soccer move.
But I've never seen. I was so shocked by seeing it, and he was chippy all up and down the ice too. And there was a point where Lafreniere took the puck away from him, made a spin move, and McCarr couldn't catch him, and he fell down into the corner. And Lafreniere shot the puck into the goal. The goalie made the save. And then after the play, McCarr kept jabbing Lafreniere with the stick. So whether, Lafreniere is getting under his skin or whatever, which I don't know. I didn't see, not just being a homer there, but it seemed like McCarr was being a little petty to me. And it's not something I expected to see out of him, but we'll certainly take the 2 points against 2 quality opponents, and then you get another one tonight against the Devils. That man, you got a 4-game winning streak now, and when it seems like last week we were calling for everybody's heads, and sometimes it's more about patience. It's more about letting things play out than anything else. You're not going to win a championship or lose a championship in November or December. Let the entire season play out before you really start making some calls. But the Rangers have done little things, bringing Brodzinski up, that really has added speed, youth, and energy to that fourth line, to where it was just a dead fourth line with Carpenter there. You waive Carpenter. Now you have upwards of $9 million at the trade deadline. If you're in a position to utilize it. So they are making the moves that they need to make. And this week you got, you have tough games. You had a tough one tonight against Jersey. You got Toronto Thursday night, and you got this weekend you're at Philadelphia and at Chicago. So there's points to be had out there. There's tough games out there. Go out and get your points. And we'll see next week whose head we're calling for, or if their streaks are still alive. And Bill, looks like the Penguins won over in regulation.
In regulation, that's correct. Tonight's game with Dallas, which I'm going to say, first of all, I was predicting they were going to lose because
your lock of the week is going to be the Dallas Stars beating the Pittsburgh Penguins. Your lock of the week.
Not the voice I was actually using when I said that. But
but that was fucking spot on. Sorry.
What voice were you using?
No, do it again. Do it one more time, just so I can.
Your lock of the week would be the Dallas Stars over the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That sounds just like you, bud. Sorry.
I don't know how you picked that up from a text message, but anyway, the point being, last season, yeah, the Stars cooled out the Penguins a couple times when the Penguins were on a hot streak. This season they went in on a hot streak. I said, oh shit, they're going to play Dallas, and it was a game just like those games last season, very close game, right down to the wire. But this time the Penguins managed to come out on top of it. I got to say the last 5 minutes, because the game was 1-1 throughout the second and third period. And in the last 5 minutes of that game with Dallas, it wasn't the usual, you kind of see teams kind of play to pick up the point. And man, for 5-on-5 action, it was bananas. The Penguins just were peppering the Stars with great chances from about 4.5 minutes to like 2.5 minutes left, like a 2-minute shift. They just were destroying them, but didn't score. And then Dallas turned it around and had the Penguins on their heels, ridiculously chasing them around on their own end for almost 2 minutes as well, and until the Malkin line broke out with the puck, and Malkin scored the game winner. So Penguins keep their winning streak going. There are other wins earlier, last week. They didn't play the best teams last week, to be sure, but wins are wins. They beat Columbus 4-1, and then they had a home and home with Buffalo, and they beat Buffalo both of those games. But Buffalo to me looks like they're the next New Jersey. Man, they look like they're where New Jersey was maybe a year ago. Just a lot of incredible young talent, showing flashes of brilliance, but they just don't have the defense, and they don't have the penalty kill right now, and the goaltending is a little suspect. The Penguins got outplayed in a lot of ways in both of those games with Buffalo, but they just came out on top at any rate. So good week for the Penguins, and the goaltending again. The goaltending was outstanding against Buffalo. It was a home and home on back-to-back nights, and Jari and DeSmith each got a turn, playing extremely well there. There was an incident at the end of the Buffalo game, the first Buffalo game in Buffalo, where Jake Ensel took an extra swipe after maybe right around when the whistle was, but it's certainly something that players take exception to.
Who?
When you take that swipe at the goaltender covering the puck. Jake Ensel was going after. Gensel was going after the puck that Anderson had covered, and Jeff Skinner lost his fucking mind. So they traded a couple of slashes, and then Skinner went high with a cross check, and then even higher with a cross check to the mouth, which earned him a 3-game suspension.
Oh, he got a 3 game. I didn't see anything. I tried to look a little bit, but he got 3 games for that. Good.
Yep, 3 games for that, and because he's dreadfully overpaid, it actually ends up being a lot of salary that he misses out on. But really, in the end, I don't think it's going to hurt him too much, since he's making something like $500,000 a goal, I guess, in his contract. I don't know. So the Penguins did win those 2, and at the end of the last game, the game on Saturday against Buffalo, we saw the return of Chris Letang after his stroke. 12 days after his stroke, he was back on the ice.
Sense.
Incredible.
Stroke is not. I mean, that guy, obviously, if a stroke doesn't really affect him, I mean, there's no reason to think Letang won't live to be like 150. I mean, I don't know what can bring you down if you're back playing in the NHL 12 days after a stroke.
No,
I'm going to venture the guess that he's not going to live to 150.
I'm going to venture to guess that if we make a bet on that, I'm not going to be around to collect.
I don't like to compare sports, but when it comes to watching the World Cup and watching certain just various European teams, players literally throw themselves on the ground, writhing pain of just being touched on the shoulder, they might not come back ever in the sport from these aggression of hard fouls they're having. And then you see a guy playing hockey come back 12 days later from a fucking stroke. I mean, it's kind of crazy to watch that these guys are play sports at the highest level, but one side is so far into trying to draw penalties that they fake such injuries. And in hockey, it's the exact opposite. Where they're like, I don't care if my fucking arm's falling off and playing.
I don't understand why do soccer players do that? Is it to draw penalties and red cards and yellow cards and stuff like that?
Because you get
to
set
draw,
pieces.
it's to draw
Yeah.
cards and have a chance for the other players to take a break.
Well,
Right. If he's down there
sometimes-
writhing in pain, the other guys can go to the bench and get some water or just
Yes.
stop running for a couple of
Or-
minutes.
when
So-
they're losing or they waste time.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like usually like England's always outclassed by a team like France, and they just basically, you know, the only way they can win is by getting penalties, you know, getting fouled in the other team's box in order to get breakthroughs. Anyway, sorry, Bill. I just had to say that because of the absurdity of that. So
Apparently, Nick's
Agree.
got strong opinions.
Agree.
Oh, I don't think any of us disagree with what he said.
No.
I mean, you look at player like what Patrice Bergeron, he had like a ruptured spleen and still finished the series. He had a ruptured spleen in like game 5 and still finished the game, the entire series in the playoffs that one year.
I think that happened to Forsberg too some years ago.
Yeah.
Didn't he lose some kind of vital organ?
Yeah,
Maybe not a vital organ. Did he lose some kind of organ?
I'm thinking if it was vital, he may not have made the game, Bill.
My last two things on the Penguins, it was just looking at some of their stats this week. It was a little bit interesting to look at their plus minus ratings. Their top plus minus, the top 4 guys for plus minus: Ricard Raquel at plus 14, Jan Ruda at plus 12, P.O. Joseph at plus 11, and Josh Archibald at plus 8. And just thinking that none of those guys were either on the team last season or weren't there for the full season. So, you know, you have a couple of offseason pickets in Ruda and Archibald. Joseph barely played. Raquel obviously was the late season trade that they picked up and re-signed. So all the new blood in the lineup really making things happen for them, which you really notice their really strong play during this streak. But my last little note on the Penguins is kind of a go fuck yourself to Sports Illustrated writer.
Yeah, it was fuck the Flyers.
Them too. Fuck the Flyers. But Sports Illustrated writer Jacob Punteri, who I'd never heard of, wrote an article that just the headline caught my eye this week, talking about how the Penguins are a logical landing place for Brock Besser. And I read this piece of shit article to see what the fuck he could have been thinking. You know, the Penguins are pretty loaded on right wing. They're up against the salary cap. Obviously, they can add 6 point whatever million that he's with the cap hit that he comes with. Punteri's premise, which was basically you have to accept this premise to go on with the article, is that the Penguins are dissatisfied with the play of Brian Rust and are looking to replace him on the top 6 because he's having a down season or whatever. They just re-signed the guy this past offseason, and like 2 months of the season has gone by. And Punteri pointed out his bad production after praising the other 5 top 6 forwards, and said, you know, Rust's production's down. He had 1 point less than shit. What's his name? The left wing.
Raquel.
I was on a roll too. Zucker. They had 1 point less than Zucker on the same line as him. So yeah, the thought that the Penguins were dissatisfied with Rust, I've not seen that anywhere. I don't understand where.
If you're dissatisfied with Rust, we'll take him.
Really, I mean,
and we'll trade you Jacob Trouba for him.
If I thought we were going to start bashing writers, I would have gone longer on my segment, just for the record.
Oh,
well,
I'll send it back to you then.
Well, who do you got?
That's pretty much all that I had on
Fire away.
Sean Fitz-Gerald, not Fitzgerald, Fitz-Gerald, writer for The Athletic.
Uh-oh.
Who are doing a top 100 players or top 99 players in the NHL.
Why aren't they doing top 100?
Because the name of the article is well, no, it is 100. They're calling it the NHL 99, but it's the top 100 players.
That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Yes, it really
Writes about number 49 rated Scott Stevens.
And this is in NHL history?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was current. My bad.
And here is the headline of the article. Scott Stevens' legacy gets grainier as game evolves past highlight reel hits. Does that sound like the headline for an article that is touting somebody as the 49th best player in NHL history?
No.
No. And this hack goes on to write about how in today's NHL, Scott Stevens would be looked at as, a dirty player or committing dirty hits.
Jacob Trouba.
But
Yeah, but
he's not playing in today's NHL, first of all.
it's like
Second of
canceling
all,
like a movie that made jokes in the 1970s that we don't accept as
Exactly.
good jokes anymore. It's fucking ridiculous.
he even goes on to quote a prominent Canadian neurosurgeon, and the Canadian neurosurgeon said, because he caused brain damage, in my view, that's not something to be proud of.
Yeah, this guy is definitely making an article to, he probably started this in some direction of like, hey, I want to make it so like, hey, this guy was, he was a great player, but he was also a dirty player. And then it went to this direction where he just went off the deep end, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is, first of all, you guys all know that all that shit was legal. The hits were legal.
Everybody
Okay.
was doing it.
Everybody was. And you know what? Okay, let's use the best example. The Paul Correa hit in the playoffs against by Scott Stevens. Was there a penalty on the play?
No.
Was there a suspension?
No. Was there even retaliation on the ice from one of his
No.
teammates?
Correct. So again, this is a revisionist history thing, right? You can't go back and be like, well, that was dirty because today's game that would be dirty. It's like the game was completely different. He wouldn't have been hitting people the same way, obviously, because he wouldn't be able to get away with it, and he would do just his game, right? And so, like, it's like if you went and said, oh, I watch football, and if that guy hit my quarterback like that, he would be penalized every game. That would be just kind of the fact that, the league is completely protecting quarterbacks by like, throwing every single, if you touch the guy,
By the way,
it's a penalty.
Spot on impression of Bill, Nick.
What's
Yep,
up?
you got it.
Why is everything
Spot
me?
on
That was
impression of Bill.
fantastic.
I don't understand why every fucking
So-
weird voice is mine.
so-
I don't.
Steve,
I object.
Steve, I saw the article that you posted, and I was like, this guy's a douche.
Yeah.
Because you're right. This guy, he's one of the best defensemen ever. He doesn't even talk, it's like discounting all the actual really good defensive work that guy did and all the, the way he turned his game
Just
from
boiling
like,
him down to a
defenseman
cheap
to a
shot. Yeah.
defenseman.
To some sort of cheap
Yeah.
shot artist. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
All it
like
was.
that's just
Fuck you,
well,
Bill.
listen.
On your stupid voice.
You weren't even supposed to catch that.
What
I
a-
said that.
What it was this guy's a fucking Leafs fan, I bet, and he's just bitter that his Leafs could never get past the Devils. So
There
fuck
go.
you,
Yeah,
Scott
something like
Fitz
that.
hyphen Gerald. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You might as well be on the
Yeah.
fucking Flyers, you cockbag.
Agree. Again, I agree.
Wow.
I'm agreeing with everybody today,
Bag. Wow.
except for the fucking voices that you guys are using. I don't agree with those.
And now it's time for trivia with Bill. Ugh.
Now this is the wrong Bill.
Which player holds the record for most penalties in his career?
Scott Stevens.
Excellent, Nick.
It was not Scott Stevens. That was a very good guess. You guys, I wish I could tell you the multiple choice already because the fourth multiple choice is utterly ridiculous. But
Paul
okay.
Correa.
No, not Paul Correa.
Both Sedins combined.
Well, no, we're looking for one player, but I don't think that both Sedins combined would even have.
Pavel
have taken it.
Datsuk.
No, sir. Nope.
What other Lady Bings can we say?
Anze Kopitar.
No.
Wayne Gretzky.
Leads career stats and everything else, doesn't he? But no, not Gretzky. That's one of the records he does not have.
Martin St. Louis.
Ooh.
Friend of the show.
No.
Friend of the show, yeah.
Nope. No, Marty.
Billy Fougere.
That wasn't him.
Pavel Datsuk.
I said Datsuk already.
What the
Jesus
fuck is
Christ.
Nick
Wayne
fucking not
Gretzky.
listening? Wait till you hear the
over
show back.
here.
Wait until you hear the show back. You're gonna fucking love it.
Spot on impression of
It's
me
not
that
Adam
time
Graves.
because I know that was me. Did you? By the way, did you listen back and did you laugh?
I absolutely did. And
Good.
I wasn't paying attention, so
Um,
Clayton Keller.
Who? No.
let's go with a
He's a
fighter.
player, don't worry.
Christoph Oliva.
Oh, better guess. That's a better guess. Not correct. That's a better guess.
Marty McSorley.
Nope. That was a very good guess, Marty McSorley.
Is this guy a player on the Rangers?
No, it's next segment.
Oh, fuck, wrong
Negatory.
segment.
Next segment.
Sorry.
Bob Probert.
Oh, that is A on the multiple choice. Not correct, but
Son of a.
starting to, yeah. Hey, you're starting to circle in. You're getting close.
Marty McSorley.
Oh, hey, Nick.
And Nick,
Nick.
you're gonna fucking love it when you listen to the show. Oh wait, you don't listen to the show.
You don't listen. That's right. Nick, if you listen to the podcast, you would get a laugh right now. Ty Domi.
Not Ty Domi. Not Ty Domi.
Mm,
Not
Not
Over
even,
Max
here.
Domi.
not even one of the multiple choice, huh?
Tony Twist.
Not one of multiple choice. Negative. Nope.
gotta be fighting guy, right? Gotta be a
I would
fighter.
think so, right?
You betcha.
Rob Ray.
Oh, also on the list. Not correct, but he was one of the multiple choice guys. So now
Not
there's
D,
only the
not D, right? He
now there's
wasn't
only
D.
the correct answer. It was not D. So we got the correct answer, and we've got the one that ridiculous one.
I mean, he's got so many hat tricks named after him. How about Gordie Howe?
Gordie Howe. Nope.
No, he didn't get too many Gordie Howe hat tricks.
I do believe that this player would have the era that he played in would have definitely overlapped with Howe.
I know who it is.
Okay.
Is
Who
he is he a player on our least favorite hockey team?
I was thinking the same thing too.
Crap, what team did he play for? No, I don't think so.
Well, then he's not. It wasn't
Okay.
Bob Clark then.
No. Yeah.
No, it was not.
What team did he play for? Oh boy.
He played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, which is what I thought. I just didn't want to misspeak.
Happy Gilmore.
Matt Sundin.
No. Would you like
70s?
the remaining multiple choice? Yes.
I don't know. Fuck the Maple Leafs.
Fighter. Was he in the 80s? Is that what we're now?
70s and 80s. Yep.
Yeah, I would draw a blank on the
Yeah.
70s players on the
Gary Roberts.
Now he's 90s.
No.
Gary
All right,
probably
give
played
us-
in the 80s.
How about Gary Carter?
Too soon.
What do you mean
It's
too
just
soon?
Wait, it's way too soon.
Oh man.
Go ahead, give us the remaining multiple choice, please.
The remaining multiple choice is Dave Tiger Williams or Connor McDavid.
Oh, it's definitely Connor. Definitely.
That's that was the ridiculous
Absolutely.
one. No, you're not supposed to pick Connor.
No, I'm gonna
McDavid.
say it's the GOAT Tiger.
Tiger. It is
Tiger
Tiger.
Woods.
That's
The
the
guy.
Tiger
guy.
Woods, who lost this last weekend. Speaking of losing, we've been on a little streak of losing the next segment, and I think we should really
Yeah, but we've been practicing the power.
we definitely have developed a good strategy, and what we've developed a good strategy for is impressions with Nick.
Fucking great. Ladies and gentlemen of Friends Rivals Podcast, you're for the fastest 2 minutes of this Type 45 show. Here's a 20 questions power play. Rules are simple. If there's 2 minutes to guess a famous player, coach, front office, or any famous person associated with one of the 4 Friends and Rivals favorite teams. The group can ask up to 20 questions in rapid fire. Answers will only come in the form of yes or no. The group will have to make one final guess once they hit 20 questions or the power play has expired. If the group is successful, they win for the week and avoid shame for unable to win at a children's game. And away we go.
Is this player associated with the Devils?
No.
This player associated with the Islanders.
Yes.
They always are. Is this player associated with one of the other teams, like the Penguins or the Rangers?
Would only be the
I believe the
Penguins,
answer is no. And it is no.
though. So it's
Was
just
this
an
player
Islander,
a
huh?
forward?
Islander.
A forward, correct? Yes.
Does this
player-
player play in the 2010s?
Yes.
Is this player American?
No.
This player Canadian.
Yes.
John Tavares.
No.
I'm out.
Is this player a forward?
Yes,
Yes.
we did that already.
Is this player currently on the Islanders?
No.
Should have worded that question differently.
Forward, Canadian forward. Islanders.
Is it
So
is it Matt Martin?
No.
No, he's not currently in Iceland.
Yeah, I don't know any fucking Islanders, Tom.
who's that guy that went to Phoenix that they ate his contract?
A lad? I don't think it was Lad.
Is it Andrew
yeah.
Ladd?
Yes.
Lad.
It's Andrew.
I got
Ladd!
it!
What a shot! He scores!
I got an assist.
That was a tip and goal off of Bill's shot.
What a shot!
That was a shot pass by me.
Fuck
Wow.
yeah, baby.
Holy
Dude,
shit!
God.
What a shot!
I thought you guys start asking questions like, did the Isles, did they acquire this player? Did they draft this player? I think that's
Don't give us fucking strategy. We just won, motherfucker.
That's right.
We are 4 for
Oh.
6 now.
All right.
Four,
got
4,
there.
6. Suck it.
All right.
Good job, Bill. Good job, Bill.
Before we get to Steve's stomach, I got two things. One, congratulations to Brian Leach. He will be
Fuck him.
inducted into the IIHF Hall
Oh, wow.
of Fame
Great. Awesome.
in 2023.
Good for him.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Brian.
Great job. Congratulations.
Yeah. I don't know if the international one means anything.
It
But,
doesn't.
Congratulate him on making a lesser Hall of Fame.
Good.
Yeah,
Good job.
absolutely.
Congratulations on getting your number retired by
And-
Boston College.
Well, hold on. And secondly, congratulations to Wade Redden for being inducted into the Ottawa Senators Ring of Honor tonight.
Well, at least that's NHL level.
Jesus.
I thought you were.
I thought you were about to
Congratulations,
say
Wade
that-
Redden. You're still alive. Good job, buddy.
Fucking Wade Redden.
I
Oh,
thought you were going to congratulate him because he finally, like, his contract was finally fully paid.
no, it's not Bobby Bonilla.
It's not Bobby territory there, boys.
Relax. Jeez Louise. All right, let's go to this date in Steve's stomach, brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Round here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here, Coke Zero's the way to go.
This one's going to bring us to the year of our Lord 2009. 2009.
9.
Please go to
Did that one already.
January. Yes, we did. January 23rd.
9.
January 23rd was a Friday.
Friday.
There was no breakfast on Friday the 23rd. So we will go right to lunch, where I enjoyed a delicious liverwurst and cheese sandwich from Quick Check with some chips on the side, a Coca-Cola Classic 20-ounce to wash that down. It must have been a beautiful January 23rd, 2009, because I show that I went for a walk in the park during lunch as well.
Can you open it, please, Graham?
Dinner was a chicken quesadilla and chips with 2 cans of Coca-Cola Classic and some chips and dip. Why did you pick January 23rd, 2009?
Well, obviously, that was the day that police in Nigeria were holding a goat on suspicion of attempted armed robbery. Vigilantes took the black and white, right, exactly. That was my reaction to Nick. Took the black and white beast to the police station, saying it was an armed robber who had used black magic to transform himself into a goat to escape arrest after stealing a Mazda 323. All that for a Mazda 320. Well, it is Nigeria. Yeah, but
That's like a Tesla.
That's some Hot Wheels in Nigeria. Yeah, man.
We cannot confirm the story, but the goat is in our custody. We cannot base our information on something mystical. It is something that has to be proven scientifically that a human being turned into a goat. Belief in witchcraft is widespread in parts of Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation. Residents came to the police station to see the goat, photographed it in the national newspaper on its knees next to a pile of straw. And that's what happened January 23rd, 2009.
That's what a letdown. The goat didn't fuck nothing. What's going on?
I don't even know if I can play the song after a story like that. I'm gonna, but I don't know if I can.
Time's a creep. Time is a weirdo. Where does he come up with the shit? It's so disgusting.
How genius is that, though? Let's steal a car and then frame a goat for it. It's genius. Absolutely genius.
Evil goat.
Well,
that's all we got.
Did he come or not?
Yeah, didn't you hear me? They're all over the pile of straw.
Jesus Christ, man! There's just some things you don't talk about in public.
Yes.
Not a schooner. Sailboat.
Oh. All right,
we did it.
We're done.
5.
Yeah, do it.
I don't know if it was type.
He's dragging it out. He's dragging it out at this point. It would have been, but
no, it was
fucking
a tight 60. It was a tight 60.
He's waiting to fucking wrap it up.
Listen,
we're gonna make it an hour and a half.
You just have to let that boat go. You just have to let it go. Let it sail off into the sunset. We're never going to do a 45-minute show.
No, it's going to happen once, and it's going to be our highest rated show because I am going to promote the fuck out of it just to prove a point.
Right. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. Follow us on Twitter at friends_rivals, Facebook, YouTube, Friends and Rivals Podcast. While you're on the YouTube, click, comment, and share. Turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of the Friends and Rivals Podcast. Billy, say something. I don't know. What did you want me to fucking say? Say something.
I can't say anything witty today. I was going to say something poignant.
Yeah, that's say something poignant. Go ahead, do that.
It was a very cool week seeing my son, of course, play his first JV game at St. Joe's. Such a cool thing to get that high school experience, which is different for youth hockey than travel hockey because you're playing, with the guys that you're with all day. And it was just a really cool thing. But related to that, I actually went to another high school hockey game this past Friday night, and it was the first ever varsity hockey game for the East Brunswick, South River, and Spotswood High School schools all together. A new program. Casey played with a bunch of those kids in travel hockey. Just so many great kids on that team. It was so cool to see that get off the ground. One of Casey's old coaches was instrumental in getting that going, Coach Connolly. They did a phenomenal job. The energy at Pro Skate Rink was so unbelievable. It was like nothing I've ever seen outside of an NHL playoff game. Packed, and when they scored the first goal about 2 minutes in, place went absolutely wild. They were playing Woodbridge, which is like the GMC favorite, and they got destroyed. I'm not gonna lie. After that first goal, it was kind of downhill from there. But just amazing to see those really good kids, those really great parents. All this is a great sport that we're talking about each week, that we're supporting. The kids that come in and play in these travel leagues and in high school, for the most part, there's some dicks, but for the most part, really great kids, really great parents. They're going to be awesome people when they grow up, and so it was just really cool to see. Congratulations to East Brunswick, Spotswood, South River.
That was a beautiful tribute to people who will never fucking hear it because nobody listens.
Got to try, right? I don't know.
That's right. You can sing us that now.
Oh, my friends and rivals. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off.
So
Oh,
much.
like when I fell down the stairs? No, how the hell does that ever happen? I don't even know.
You stumbled all the way down the steps. What are you talking about? Oh, Jesus, God, help me, Lord. That's all I heard.
I'm halfway down the stairs now. I can't believe I got married today to Jen. Oh my God, help me, Lord.
Missed one step and caught myself.
What the fuck
One
is all
step.
that noise?
I
Lillian,
can't
the
believe my
bridge is
wife
falling
just
down the
said
steps
thank you when she
again.
got communion. Oh my God, how did I marry this woman? There's still a quarter of the way left to go down the stairs.
I'm halfway down now.
I can't believe these are going to be my in-laws for the rest of my life.